guys, it's Amy with A2ZStamping.com. Today I'm going to make a sympathy card using the Falling Flowers stamp set. This stamp set doesn't have any sentiments on it. It's just got all these different flower stamps. These are clear mount stamps, which means they're the red rubber. So clear mount, I know, says clear, but those aren't the ones that are clear that you can see through. They're actually the red rubber stamps, but the red rubber stamps really nicely, so you're gonna like using these. And then there is a set of thinlets, let's see, that goes along with this stamp set. These are called the May Flowers Framelits dies that do coordinate with this stamp set, but I'm not gonna be using that today. I'm just gonna be using the stamps. So let's get started. So I needed a sympathy card, and I didn't really have anything in my collection, and so I wanted to make something, and I needed it to be quick and easy. So I decided to just go with Whisper White and Blushing Bride. So we need to start with a piece of, I have a piece here of thick, this is our thick Whisper White cardstock. This is perfect for card bases. And I'm going to just grab my trim real quick. So this is cut at, it was an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, so it was cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and now I'm going to score it with my trimmer here at 4 1/4. All right, here we go, scored at 4 1/4, and I'm just going to fold that in half, grab my bone folder here, and give it a nice crease. All right, our card's going to go this way. Okay, the next thing is I needed my Blushing Bride, and I'm going to go ahead, this is cut at, let's see, what's this cut at? This is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And again, this is Blushing Bride cardstock. And I need my adhesive here, my snail adhesive. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this on now. Normally we would do our stamping first, but I'm just going to get this down and out of the way. So put this on here. All right. Okay, and we'll set that aside. All right. So the first thing I want to do is my stamping. So I need a piece of, all right, so I need a piece here of Whisper White cardstock. This is just our regular Whisper White cardstock, and this one here is cut at 5 by 3 3/4, and we're going to do our stamping on here. So the first stamp I want to use is, actually the only stamp I'm going to use of this set is this big one right here. I'm going to use this right here. And I've got that right here on my E block. It fits really nice on the E block. And I want to use basic black ink. Whoa. All right. So I just threw that across the room. Okay. So let me grab my basic black ink here. And I'm going to ink this up. I have never had that happen before, but oh well. Good thing I'm making 2 of these because that ink just shot across the room onto my sample card. All right, so this is nice and inked up. And the first thing I'm going to do is I want to stamp it. Let me get it straight on my grid paper here. I want to stamp it up here on this, toward the top here. So let's see. Let's go right here. Press. So don't rock your stamp. Just press and lift. Looks good. And I'm going to ink it up again. All right, and this time I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to stamp on this side. Okay, I'm going to go right here. All right, press and lift. Perfect. All right, let me grab my Stampin' scrub, clean my stamp off. So wet side, dry side, and my stamp is all clean and ready to put away. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I need a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. It doesn't matter what size it is. And I actually, since there were no sentiments and I needed one, I grabbed the Flourishing Phrases stamp set. This stamp set actually comes in 2 cases. There's a set of flowers and then there's a set of phrases. I'm just going to use this with Sympathy. I've got that right here. This stamp is also our clear mount stamps. And let's see here. I'm going to turn this way. Okay, I've got this on a C block with Sympathy, and I'm going to ink that up. And I'm just going to stamp it right on here. Doesn't really matter, but I want to give myself some room. Stamp. Perfect. All right, let me clean this stamp off. and dry, and it's all clean. All right. Okay, and I've never had my stamp set do that before. I'm sure it goes back in quite easily. Looks like maybe this way. That was so funny. Okay, well, I'm going to have to figure this one out in a bit, but for now, I'm just gonna pop it back in here. Oh, there we go, look at that. That was so weird. Oh, yep, it's all back to normal now. Let's see. Oh, whew, okay. All right, well, I guess I pressed a little hard. All right, so there's our With Sympathy. Now what I want to do is cut this out. So the first thing I'm going to use, actually we're going to also cut out, I need a scrap piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. So I want to cut this into an oval. So first thing I'm going to use, I've got an oval here. I'm going to be using, this is from the, this is just our layering ovals framelits dies. You can see I have scalloped ovals and regular ovals, so I'm just going to be using a regular oval. And then in the Blushing Bride, I'm going to use our stitched framelit dies, and these come in circles, ovals, and squares, and these ones are stitched. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second when I cut it. So let me grab my Big Shot here. And I've just got the magnetic platform down and a cutting plate. And I'm going to put both these on here. So got that. And I'm going to stick just the end here. And I just need a little piece. All right. And put my top plate on and run it through. All right. And now I can just grab this out and put this away. Okay. Cutting plates back. Okay, so I've got my two ovals here, 1 and 2, and I'll put these back so I don't lose them. All right. So as you can see, the one where I use the stitch, see how it's got stitching around the edge? Can you see that? There's stitching around the edge. So these stitched ones are really quite cool. Okay, so I'm going to take some just snail adhesive and stick that on the back and glue it on here. Oh, you know what I just did? I just cut this one size too big. Hold on, let me grab a smaller oval. Oh my goodness, it's one of those days. Here we go. All right. Let me just really quick run this through. I'll show you how simple it is. I'm just going to grab it again, lay it on here, lay it on here, and I'm going to run it through again. I always think I can eyeball it, but I can't always tell. All right, there we go. And I need the print. Okay. Whew. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so now I'm going to stick a little bit more adhesive on here. I'm going to stick it on here. That looks better. Now I can see my stitching. Okay. And I'm going to stick some dimensionals on the back of this. Where did I put my dimensionals? That's a good question. Here they are, right next to me. Okay. So I'm just going to stick 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pretty sure dimensionals might be one of the greatest inventions ever in the crafting world. Okay, and I'm going to, actually, I'll peel them off now. 1, 2. Especially for card making, they really make a card go from okay pretty to really cool. All right, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside, and I'm going to grab my card base, this one out again. And now I'm going to take just one of my Stampin' Right markers. This is the Blushing Bride marker. And you can get these. I keep them here in the whole set. I have the full set of markers, and you can buy them this way. So you get all 4 of the color families, the 10 of the subtles, brights, regals, the neutrals, and then there's 10 open spots left in there for the 10 current ink colors. So I grabbed the Blushing Bride, or you can buy the markers just by color family. All right, and I'm going to open this end. The other end's for writing, and I'm just going to color the flowers real quick. There's just 3 on each. 1, 2, 3. Quick and easy. All right. Now I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. We're almost finished with this card. And I'm going to stick it on the base. Just like this. And then I'm going to I'm going to stick this on the front, and we're almost done. I've got one more little step. And now I'm going to grab my rhinestones, and I'm just going to add these the tiniest little rhinestones to the ends of each of the big swirls. So there's a little bit thicker swirls and a little bit thinner swirls. I'm just going to add it to the ends of the thicker ones. Oh, that's bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4. So sometimes you can pick them up with your fingers. I have long enough fingernails right now to do that, but when I have no fingernails, I often just use my bone folder to grab these off, and I stick them. It's a lot easier to place them that way because sometimes they can be a little tricky to handle. 1, 2, 3, come on, and 4. So I like to get it, let's see, I like to get it into place, and then when it's exactly where I want it, then I press it down. Let's see, did I get them all? Oh, I see 2 that I missed. I missed 1 right here. Come on. And I missed 1 up here, right here. Okay. And then I'm going to put 1 on here just to add something. All right. Actually, let's see. Let's move this down just a tiny bit. There we go. All right. And there is my card. So pretty. And here's one I did earlier, although when my ink flew across the room, it landed on my card, so it kind of ruined that part right there. But it's basically the same. This one, the rhinestones down there, but very similar card, and it's so pretty in real life with the rhinestones on it. So as you can see, just making a card just with basically one color in white, black ink, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do. I hope you enjoyed this card. Make sure you visit me at a2zstamping.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks, guys. Bye.